Hmm. Okay, good evening, everyone. This is GP here, and I hope I am audible. And let word and confirmation would be great. If you can just confirm, it'll be helpful. Okay. Hey, yes, it seems I'm there. And while you people confirm, let me have a look at the questions. Okay. Okay, great. So there's a confirmation that I'm audible. So let's get started without wasting too much time. आज के सेशन में हम लोग ज्यादा कुछ नहीं करेंगे. We look at a few questions किस तरह से जुगाड़ किया जाता है, for which will probably serve as a revision for you. We'll again look at as to how you should be attempting the paper. I think we have discussed that multiple times, इसलिए उस पर ज्यादा नहीं बताएंगे. I'll spend more time on questions as to how you should be attempting them. Okay, so let's look at the strategy part first. And there are broadly two strategies that we talk about: the 6-round strategy and the 6-set strategy. Okay, the 2 rounds, that's not the 6 sets, that's the 5-set strategy. Sorry. Okay, the 2-round strategy is what I follow and something which I recommend strongly, because what this ensures is कि यार आसान वाले होते जाएंगे. ठीक है? So when you're looking at the 2-round strategy, this is what you do. So when you come across a question, the first thing you do is ask yourself, यार हो जाएगा कि नहीं मुझसे? If you're 100% sure वो हो जाएगा, that's your easy question, and that is what you should attempt. Okay. And if you tell yourself, यार मेरी औकात के बाहर है, it's a difficult question, you ignore it. But there are those questions in the middle which you think you can do, but you're not sure, or you think you can do, but might take a long time. So भैया उसको mark for review कर दिया जाता है. So that if you have time, you can come back and do it in round 2. Now, many times students come and ask me, round 1 में कितना time लगना चाहिए? किसी को नहीं मालूम है. If it's an easy paper, probably round 1 will go till the end of the paper, and full 40 minutes will be spent in round 1, because question will be easy. You'll keep attempting more and more questions. If it's a difficult paper, maybe you'll finish off round 1 in 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, depending upon your level of competence. So when you're looking at this paper, please don't try to put a time limit. कि round 1 इतने मिनट में करना है, या round 2 पक्का होना चाहिए. नहीं, there's nothing like that. All that is a function of the paper. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to look at. Okay, second is the 5-set strategy. What's the 5-set strategy? है बहुत simple है. 22 सवाल है, इनको 5 sets में break कर दो. 4 to 5 questions each set. And tell yourself, I have to do 8 questions. 8 minutes mein 1 set I have to do. Every 8 minutes I should be looking at 4 to 5 questions. Maybe attempting. It is not saying attempt. In these 8 minutes, you should be looking at 4 to 5 questions. Out of which you should be attempting 2 to 3 questions. Okay, so every 8 minutes, if you are doing 2 to 3 questions, you will end up doing something like 10 to 12 questions comfortably, and which is, or maybe even 15 questions if you are really good in quant. Okay, so rather than trying to do everything, you say यार हर 8 मिनट में 5 सवाल, 4 से 5 सवाल देखूंगा, 2 से 3 अटेम्प्ट करेंगे और आगे चलते जाएंगे. What this will do is give you a good attempt of 12 to 13 questions on an average. On the lower side, something 10-11 questions. On the higher side, about 15 questions. And you are then set for the paper. Okay, so these are the 2 broad strategies that you need to look at. कौन सा करना है भैया तुम्हारी मर्जी है. Each one of us is different. Each one of us needs to look at things ourselves from our point of view, and then go ahead and do it. Some people, when they are applying the round 2-round strategy, एक और चीज करते हैं. ठीक है, पहले एक और चीज करते हैं. उसमें what they will do is they will first click on the question paper button. You have the question paper button, click on it, open the question paper, scan the paper and identify your round 1 question. So you will attempt, in first 5 minutes, you will identify the round 1 questions. Okay? In the first 5 minutes, identify. Okay, round 1 questions. And then in the balance 35 minutes, attempt those questions. So different people have different ways of attempting the paper, with bottom line एक ही है. You have to attempt the easy ones. So basic thing is attempt the easy ones and leave the difficult ones. Okay. Okay, Ritu is saying, can you suggest tricks to improve accuracy in quant? Ritu, अभी जो करेंगे वो ही है जिसके लिए जो आप मांग रहे हो मुझसे. Okay. Would you suggest going through the question and deciding round 1, round 2, or go question to question? Rabani, I go question by question. I don't do, but I know many people who do, who scan the paper, identify round 1 question, round 2 question, then solve. Entirely your choice. जो तुम्हारे लिए ठीक है, जिससे तुम ज्यादा comfortable हो between the two, choose it and move on. Okay. Okay, चलो सवाल देखते हैं. ठीक है. Let's look at the question and see क्या जुगाड़ लगाना चाहिए है. Okay. Now first question. Find the maximum value of this expression where x lies between -1 and 4. Okay. That's where x lies. So what is it I should do? पहली चीज है, you have options given to you. You have the options. You should be using the options. Okay. What you need to do is put values. X lies between -1 to 4. Okay. Okay. This should have been like this. Okay. So x lies between -1 to 4, which is the easiest number to put. X equal to 0. If x equal to 0, then what is this fx? What does fx become? It becomes equal to 30. What does that mean? That means the maximum value will be greater than or equal to 30. Or maximum value 30 से कम नहीं हो सकती. That means this is wrong choice. And what is 93 by 4? 93 by 4 is less than 25. 100 by 4 is 25. तो ये भी गलत है. 147 by 4 about 37. 37 into 2 is 74 into 2, 148. So about 37. Okay. So 2 choices left. Next step, take x equal to 1. If x is equal to 1, what do we get? Fx becomes equal to 30 plus 9 minus 3, which is equal to 36, which implies my answer should be greater than or equal to 36. That means choice 3 is wrong. Correct answer here. Okay. So inequalities, खास तौर से equations, please remember यार हमारा काम substitute करके solve करना है rather than anything else. Okay. 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 यार ऐसा होता है कि we freeze. See, when we freeze, it is primarily because या फिर हम लोग को टेंशन हो जाती है, वो इसलिए होती है because we are trying to attempt many questions. Are you aware what is the 99 percentile typically in quant? In QA, typically 99 percentile will be around 30 marks. It can go as high as 36. It has gone as low as 26. So, अगर पिछले 5-6 साल के पेपर देखते हो, this is what is required. So, which means if you are doing about 10 to 12 questions comfortably, you are going to be around 99 percentile. Don't worry about it. Now, the moment you tell yourself, yeah, मेरे को तो 10 से 12 सवाल करने हैं, or I have to do 50% of the paper, you will be much more relaxed, you will be comfortable. Okay? So, pressure हटाओ अपने दिमाग से, ज़्यादा करने की मत सोचो, because, and which is why this strategy is important. What is the thing? Ignore the difficult ones. Don't even attempt the medium ones. You need to focus only on the easy questions. जो देख के पता चल गया exactly क्या करना है, उन questions को हम करते जाएंगे. Okay. Quant cutoff अगर देखोगे about 5 to 6 questions. 5 to 6 questions are good enough usually to clear your quant cutoff. Okay. चलो अगला सवाल देखते हैं. ये ऑप्शन वाला फंडा था बेसिकली. ठीक है. Look at another question. Okay. This is from CAT 2008. Okay. Let's read the question. A shop stores X kg of rice. The first customer buys half this amount plus half kg of rice. The second customer buys half the remaining amount plus half kg of rice. The third customer also buys half the remaining amount plus half kg of rice. Thereafter, no rice is left in the shop. Which of the following best describe the value of X? Okay. Now, when you look at this particular question, और बोलते हो भैया मैं GP option check करने को बोल रहा है, तो कितनी option check करेंगे? Now, look at this. The minimum value is 2 and the maximum value is 18. Do we need to check all numbers from 2 to 18? नहीं यार, नहीं करना होगा. Let's read the question again and try to understand क्या है. First customer buys half the amount plus half kg rice. पहली चीज ये देखते हैं. Supposing they are 10 kg rice. How much will the first customer buy? He'll buy 5 plus 0.5, which is 5.5. And what are you left with? 4.5 kg. What will second customer buy out of this 4.5? He'll buy half the amount, 2.25 plus 0.5, 2.75, which means 1.75 is left. Now, ये देखो, you started with the integer, 1 place of decimal, 2 place of decimal. Number of places of decimal is increasing. Zero नहीं आएगा. What does that mean? We started with an even number. Even number नहीं हो सकता. My answer has to be an odd number. Okay. How many kgs of rice were there? It has to be an odd number. Why am I saying odd number? Half the amount plus half kg. If it's an odd number, divided by 2 plus 0.5 kg will give me an integer. Right? So answer तो मैं odd number ही हो सकता है. अब कोई भी odd number try कर लो, because what are the odd numbers available to me? If you look at this, 2 to 6, the odd numbers available be 3, 5, 7. Out here, 5 and 7, 5 तो already आ गया. 7. Again, if you look at the choice in 9, 11, then we have 13, 15 and 17. सब नहीं चेक करना, बीच का कोई नंबर उठाओ, एलिमिनेट हो जाएंगी चॉइसेस. दूसरी चीज, you could have even said that 5 kg cannot be the answer. Why? Because 5 kg is available in two choices. It's available in choice 1 and choice 2. So 5 cannot be the answer. Similarly, if you look at 11, 13. 13 is here. So 13 cannot be the answer. 11 is available in choice 3 also. So even 11 cannot be the answer. कोई नंबर उठा लो ना बीच का. Take any number. ठीक है. अभिषेक, यार रिवाइज करने के लिए तुम्हारे पास क्वेश्चंस हैं कैट के या मॉक्स के. Don't pick up your books and start revising them. Do the questions. Okay, चलो वापस चलते हैं. Supposing we start with 9 kg. If we say x is equal to 9, so customer 1, how much will he get? Half of 9 is 4.5 plus 0.55 kg. Right? So what is left after that? It becomes, what is left is 9 minus 5, 4 kg. Second customer will get, again ये even आ गया ना, आंसर नहीं हो सकता. But अगर चेक भी करना है, customer 2 will get half of 2, half of 4 is 2 plus 0.5, 2.5 kg. And what are you left with? 1.5 kg. Customer 3 will get 0.75 plus 0.5, 1.25 kg. And you are still left with 0.25 kg, so wrong answer. But that we should have set at this stage itself. Okay. Riya theta में भी होता है, we look at that. What does that mean? My answer should be less than 9 kg. Why? Because यहाँ पे we are left with 0.25 kg. I wanted 0 kg left. So my answer should be less than the 9 kg. That means the answer should be 7 kg. Correct answer should be choice 2 because x is equal to 7. Verify करना वो भी कर लेते हैं. If x is equal to 7, what does that mean? First customer will get 3.5 plus 0.5, 4 kg. What are left? Out of 7, 4 gone. Second customer के लिए 3 kg बचा है. And second customer will get half of this 1.5 plus 0.5, 2 kg. What are you left with finally for the third customer? Third customer will get half of 1 is 0.5 plus 0.5, 0.5 kg, which is 1 kg, and nothing is left. Correct answer this. So, please remember, choices को उठा के साथ साथ करते जाना. ठीक है? Okay, रिया, अगर ये थीटा होता तब भी मैं यही करता ना. Supposing there were no choices available to me. Supposing there were no choices available to me. इनको भूल जाओ. ठीक है? Just forget about them. What would I do? Take any number. Let's take x equal to 11. If x is 11, customer 1 will get 5.5 plus 0.56 kg. Okay. So from 11 kg, you are down to 5 kg. Customer 2 will get half of 5 is 2.5 plus 0.5, which is 3 kg gone. You are left with 2 kg for customer 3. How much will he get? Half of 2.2 is 1.5, 1 plus 0.5, 1.5 kg. What am I left with? 0.5 kg. That means my answer should be less than 11. So you take any value and start doing this calculation. Hit and trial बहुत काम की चीज है. It works a lot in CAT. Okay. Okay. चलो let's go further. कुछ सवाल उठाते हैं. ये वाला सवाल देखो. Okay, let's see how many of you can do it. I'll wait for you to give the answer, but tab tak let's see the question. A sum of 36 lakhs is invested at a certain rate of interest when compounded annually become 3.24 crores in 12 years. Find the value of an amount invested at the same rate of interest, which when compounded annually becomes 6.2 crores in 18 years. Okay. So what is it? 36 lakhs becomes 3.24 crores or 324 lakhs in 12 years. The question is saying if the amount has become 16.2 crores, okay, what was the principal? And in 18 years. Okay. A simple ratios का सवाल है. People start doing all kind of compound interest calculation in this question. None of that is required. Okay. Okay. Now look at this question. Okay. कितना हुआ है? How many times has it become? 36 into 10 is 360. So 36 into 9 should be 324. So it has become 9 times. So what does it say? In 12 years, it has become 9, which is 3 squared times. Right? That means in 6 years, it should become 3 times. Every 6 years, it will become 3 times. So in 12 years, it will become 9 times. In 18 years, it will become 3 cubed, which is 27 times. So in 18 years, it has become 27 times. So what should this answer be? 16.2 crores upon 27. Or if you want it in lakhs, 1620 lakhs upon 27. Okay. Yes, Kasturi, absolutely right. इतनी टेंशन नहीं लेनी है, बहुत हो गया है. Whatever you have done seriously, sincerely, ठीक है, हो गया है ना. थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर देखना देख लो, but if you don't want to do it, you want to chill, relax, revise your formula book, and बहुत है. Don't worry. If you are comfortable with this, fine. There are many of us who don't like to work till the last minute and want a couple of days off before the paper. Please go ahead and do it. Okay. So क्या होगा? So it has to become 27 times. So either you can say 20 into 27 is 540 lakhs. We need 1620, wrong choice. 27 into 30 is 810. 27 into 3 is 81. So if 27 into 3 is 81, then 27 into 6 should be 162. Correct answer? Choice C. Okay. So ये सवाल रेशो का है, and when you have question of compounding where it is multiplying, you need to look at this kind of a thing that in 12 years it has become 9 or 3 square times. So every 6 years it will become 3 times. Or in 18 years, 18 is nothing but 3 intervals of 6 years now. So first 6 years it will become 3 times. Next 6 years, another 3 times, so 9 times. Another 3 years into 3 times, 27 times. Okay. Okay. चलो. This is a question जो वैल्यू डाल के करना होता है. Okay. This is a question where you should not waste time. Okay, just for your reference, because some of you might be thinking ये MB क्या है? Memory based. CAT 9 से लेके CAT 17. CAT 2009 to CAT 2016. These papers are not available. They were not released by CAT. So those questions we are giving, which are from this period, these are memory based, these are genuine questions. सही है क्योंकि मैंने attempt किया था, गौतम बाबा, people like us attempted, जो याद थे वो डाल दिए हैं. Okay, but no one can use the complete paper by and large, but these are memory based questions. ठीक है, चलो, let's look at this question. Okay. Sum of 10 distinct natural numbers is S. M is the maximum of those numbers such that S upon M is an integer. What could be the minimum value of S upon M? Now, when the question says हमको minimum निकालना है, I am looking for 10 distinct natural numbers which are minimum. Okay. Okay. कोई बात नहीं अमन, Doesn't matter as long as you do well. It's perfectly fine and we'll then meet in PDP. Don't worry. ठीक है, चलो वापस आ जाते हैं इस पे. 10 distinct natural numbers is n. हमको minimum चाहिए, so I start with the smallest natural numbers. Which are those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and m is the maximum. वो हमें find करना, तो m. What is the sum of all these? It will be 45 plus m. So s is nothing but 45 plus m. Okay, and m is the maximum. S upon m has to be an integer, so divide by m. What is this? Now this has to be an integer. अगर भाई लोगों इसको integer होना है, what does that mean? 45 by m should also be an integer. So what is the smallest possible value of m? It is going to be 45. So if m is equal to 45, then s upon m will become 45 by 45 plus 1, which is equal to 2. So what is the minimum value of s upon m? Minimum value of s upon m will be 2. Because ये already 1 है. And there's no way this can become 0. And अगर choices भी देखी होती पहले, so you could have straight away said, this is 1 plus something, so my answer cannot be this. We want minimum value. Minimum value will happen when 45 by m is equal to 1. So answer will be 1 plus 1, 2. अपेक्षा 5 का मल्टीपल क्यों चाहिए? 5k का मल्टीपल क्यों चाहिए मुझे? आई वांट मिनिमम वैल्यू. हाँ ठीक है, तो मैं सीधा 45 डाल दूंगा, because s upon m has to be an integer. So 45 by m should be an integer. So you are right, it can be any multiple of 5. From 5 to 45, any of them will make it an integer. But minimum चाहिए तो m को 45 रखना है. हाँ चलो सही अपेक्षा. चिराग ये ना थिंकिंग आ जाती है अगर ये सवाल बार बार करोगे. The RT99 and the Jugaad solution which we have shared with you, please do those questions a couple of times before CAT and दिमाग में बैठ जाएगा. तो सवाल देख के ना ऑटोमेटिकली आने लगता है, provided you have revised them, because this is not your natural style of working, so इसलिए रिवीजन की आवश्यकता होती है. Okay, let's look at a few more. ये देखो बहुत अच्छा सवाल लगता है मुझे. देवराज अभी ज्योमेट्री के विल डू 2-3 क्वेश्चंस. ठीक है, 2-3 क्वेश्चंस करेंगे एंड होपफुली तुम उससे निकाल लोगे. ओके चलो लेट्स लुक एट दिस क्वेश्चन. एंड दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन जो ओरल क्वेश्चन है. ए बी सी आर रियल नंबर्स एंड ए क्यूब प्लस बी क्यूब प्लस सी क्यूब इज इक्वल टू 3abc. Also a plus b plus c is not equal to 0. Then what is the relationship between a plus b plus a b and c? Now इस क्वेश्चन में ना पहली चीज मैं जो समझाऊंगा, people understand, this is what I call the symmetrical equation. What do I mean by symmetrical? A, B, C क्या interchangeable. Okay, A, B, C are interchangeable. If they are, क्या मतलब हुआ? जहां पे A लिखा है वहां पे B लिख दो, and B and A if you interchange, the equation will not change. If, for example, if I interchange A and B, what will this become? B cube plus A cube plus C cube is equal to 3 BAC. But equation does not change. It's the same. So to me, a symmetrical equation is one. This means the terms, if they are interchanged, the equation does not change. If this is the case, now what I want you to remember is this. If the equation is symmetrical, that implies the answer will also be symmetrical. Okay. Now A plus B equal to C is not symmetrical, because if I interchange B and C, what will it become? A plus C equal to B. This is not symmetrical. The equation has changed. Wrong choice. This is symmetrical. A plus C equal to B is not symmetrical. This is not symmetrical. So absolutely right, Apeksha. When you said 1, 1, 1, it is fine. एकदम सही लिखा है आपने आंसर. बट द लॉजिक है ऐसा कि आप देख के बता सकते हो. सिमेट्रिकल इक्वेशन, आंसर चॉइस शुड बी सिमेट्रिकल. Not symmetrical, 1, 3 and 4 are not symmetrical, and the answer should be 2. अगर ये नहीं स्ट्राइक करेगा तो what you did was perfectly fine. Otherwise ये स्ट्राइक कर गया तो कुछ लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. क्या ये तो कर लोगे ना? I hope you remember what you're supposed to do when it comes to Yeah, we'll come to it, Zenu. Yeah, I hope you remember what we need to do when we have inequalities. Substitute the value from the choices. And which is the most convenient value? X equal to 0. X equal to 0 is available in choice 1. X equal to 0 is available in choice 2. X equal to 0 is available in choice 3, not in choice 4. So if I put X equal to 0, what does this equation give me? This equation gives me 0 plus 0 minus 27 greater than 0. X equal to 0 tells me first equation में minus 27 greater than 0, which is wrong. What does that mean? X equal to 0 cannot be a part of my answer. Choice 1, choice 3, choice 4 wrong. Correct answer 2. Yeah. ओके हर्ष सोनी बोल रहा है उसमें इंफिनिटी भी तो हो सकता था ये वाले में. हर्ष, m is a number where infinity is a concept. Okay, so यहाँ पे if you look at the choices, okay, तो तुम्हारा कहना है कि अगर m को infinity कर देते हैं then the 45 by m becomes 0. Okay, incorrect logic out here, because for the simple reason out here we are looking at natural numbers. Look at this. Sum of 10 natural numbers, which is why it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If it had said whole numbers, I would have started with 0. Okay. I hope your funda clear है. ओके, चलो ये अलजेब्रा का ही सवाल है ना कृष्णा. दिस इज अलजेब्रा क्वेश्चन. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पे आते हैं. एक और ले लेते हैं अलजेब्रा का सवाल. इफ fx is equal to x cube minus 4x plus p, f0 and f1 are opposite sides, which of the following is necessarily true? Okay. f0 and f1 are opposite signs, so what is f0? Will be 0 minus 0 plus p. f1 is equal to 1 minus 4 plus p, so p minus 3. What is the question saying? p, so अब क्या करोगे? Use choices. Substitute value from the choices. Substitute the value from the choices to identify. Okay, so substitute values from the choices to identify which one works best for you. तो यहां पे तुम्हें p की वैल्यू यूज चॉइस फ्रॉम यू यूज चॉइसेस फॉर p. सब्स्टिट्यूट करके देखो इन विच केस डू यू गेट द ऑपोजिट साइंस. एंड यहां पे देखो इसमें क्या करेंगे? -1 and 2 नहीं, put p equal to 0. Okay, take p equal to 1 for example. You can take p equal to 1 also. Okay, and get the answer from there. So your job out here is to check the choices rather than do anything else. Alok, बहुत टेंशन मत लो. You have done what you could have done. In the last couple of days, you can only fine tune your strategy a little. You can revise a little. But if you start worrying कि अच्छा होगा कि नहीं होगा, or I have not done well in mocks earlier, then you will not be able to do anything. Okay? चलो, next one. Now this is a quadratic equation. इसमें जो है quadratic question में what is important always is to look at the sum of the roots and product of roots. Okay. Secondly, when it comes to quadratic equation, I take a specific case. General case दिया, specific case बना लेते हैं उसको. Okay. x square plus ax plus 1 equal to 0 has both roots real and negative. Minimum possible value of a. Now, what roots should you take? क्या roots लोगे? My suggestion is take some roots and verify. हाँ, तो 1 दोनों में है, इसमें भी चेक करो ना. 1, so 1 नहीं चेक करना चाहिए ना, सॉरी. इसमें I will take 1, I can take 1 and 2 both out here. Okay? So I will not check for 1, I will check for 2. A choice which is available only in one option is what I'm more interested in. Because if one satisfies, तो दोनों सही हो जाते हैं. But that means that this is wrong, this is wrong. If one satisfies, that means choice 3 and 4 are wrong because उसके अंदर बात नहीं है. ठीक है? ओके, चलो वापस इस क्वेश्चन पे आ जाते हैं. लुक एट दिस. व्हाट इज दिस? यही बता रहा ना. If both roots are real and negative, so what root should I take? -1 and -1. Product of, sorry, -1 and plus इसके अंदर. Okay. Both roots are real and negative. So -1 and -1 become my 2 roots. What is A? A will be equal to 2. Because what is A? A is equal to minus A will be equal to sum of roots. So A is equal to 2. So the moment you look at the product of roots, so questions of quadratic equation, हमेशा product of roots और sum of roots का ख्याल रखो. वहीं से hint मिलती है क्या करना है. Okay. And here I took the roots as -1 purely because the product of roots is 1. Both roots have to be negative and real. So I took the roots to be -1. So A is nothing but 2. क्षितिज, तुम्हारा सवाल नहीं समझ आया यार मुझे. ये होती है ना क्षितिज क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन. और इफ आई से ax² sum of roots will be equal to -b upon a and product of roots will be c upon a. So what is the product of roots out here? 1 upon 1. Okay. चलो ये सवाल देखो. Let me see if some of you can solve this question. Similar to the previous one. Find all values of p such that 6 lies somewhere between the roots of this equation. What is it saying? It is saying the roots of the equation. If I say the roots are alpha and beta, one root has to be less than 6 and the other root has to be greater than 6. यही कहे ना, 6 lies between the roots of the equation. Now what roots will you take? Specific case बोला है ना मैंने. We will create a, so quadratic equation में we will try to create an equation which satisfies the condition of the questions. Absolutely right, Anirudh and Anmol. Because the product of roots is 9. As per the question, the product of roots is equal to 9. So the roots I will take are 1 and 9. So if the roots are 1 and 9, what will my equation become? X² minus 10x plus 9 equal to 0. Right? And what is my equation? X² plus 2 into p minus 3x plus 9 equal to 0. So can I say 2 into p minus 3 should be equal to minus 10? Or p minus 3 should be equal to minus 5? Or p should be equal to minus 2? What does that mean? P equal to minus 2 just satisfies the equation. Any choice that does not contain minus 2 has to be wrong. Choice 1 contains minus 2, 2 does not contain, 3 does not contain, 4 does not contain, 5 does not contain. Correct answer 1. Why not 3 into 3? Devraj, condition kya hai Devraj? You have missed this condition Devraj. 6 lies between the roots of the equation. Apeksha, same question you have. Apeksha and Devraj. I hope you are clear. What you missed? It says 6 lies between the roots of these equations. So if the roots are alpha and beta, 6 has to be greater than one root, less than one root. Okay. नहीं यार मेरे को नहीं चेक करना कुछ और, x इज अ रियल नंबर, ठीक है, उसकी कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है, बिकॉज व्हाट आर माय इंटरेस्टेड इन इज p. ओके, so in quadratic equation ना हमेशा याद रखो, when it comes to quadratic equation you need to check for sum of roots, product of roots and coefficients. ओ जिसके भी मैंने क्या बैटरी लगाना भूल गया मैं, पावर बैंक पावर लगा दूं. Before it gets switched off. Yeah, now it's fine. Okay. Okay. So sum of roots, product of roots and coefficient, and these two are very, very important. Okay. Okay. Chalo, let's look at the next question then. Alok says, what is your suggestion for slot 3 takers? As we getting about the paper analysis, what should be the schedule for candidate? कुछ नहीं यार, आराम से सो के उठो. Just check in the morning as to first slot का क्या है, broad idea ले लो, कितने कुछ नया तो नहीं है. Don't worry too much about the degree of difficulty, easy, difficult, medium, because your paper could be slightly different from that, from what is there in first two slots. Just get a broad idea and अपने भरोसा रख के जाके पेपर दो. Don't worry too much about the paper कि morning slot, afternoon slot क्या हुआ. Okay, let's look at these questions on CAT 2008. Okay, we can we also put x equal to 6? And it would be x equal to 6 क्यों डालोगे इसमें? Samit, I'm not sure why you want to put x equal to 6, because there's nothing which is given in the question which tells me that I need to put x equal to 6. Okay. So unless the question tells me to put x equal to 6, I would not. Morning slot, Devanshi, just go get up in time in the morning, go and take the paper. Okay. Make sure you read the instructions clearly, because you people will be the ones who have to make sure you know the instructions clearly. कुछ change होगा instruction में पता चल जाएगा. चलो, next question. This is a hit and trial question. Roots of this equation are 3 consecutive integers. What is the smallest possible value of b? Now, what is the value of b? What is b, by the way? If you look at this, what is sum of roots? After all, there will be 3 roots out here. Let's say x1, x2, x3. Sum will be minus coefficient of x square upon coefficient of x cube a. Then we have product of roots, minus plus minus. Product of roots will be minus constant term, which is minus of minus c. And what is b? There's something called sum of roots taken 2 at a time. What is that? x1, x2 plus x2, x3 plus x1, x3. This is what is this? Minus plus coefficient of the x divided by coefficient of x cube. So it is b. So हमें क्या निकालना है? We want to find the smallest possible value of these 3. Okay. So you want to minimize the value of x1, x2 plus x2, x3 plus x1, x3. When will this happen? Apeksha, you don't need to do that. This is a specific case or a hit and trial question for me. Apeksha, tell me, look at the choices and tell me what kind of roots will give you, and what are the roots, Apeksha? 3 consecutive integers. Which 3 consecutive integers are likely to give the smallest roots? Minus 1, let's say minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, minus 2, minus 1, 0, minus 1, 0, plus 1, 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. कहां पे आएगा? Absolutely right, Nikunj. If I want to have the smallest sum, at least one of the roots should be 0. So these two go away straight away. Similarly, I would want one negative and one positive. Why? Because negative positive will cancel out each other. So I will go with this first of all. Okay. So if the roots are -1, 0, and 1, what will be the value of b? -1 into 0 is 0, plus 0 into 1 is 0, plus -1 into 1 is -1. Right? इसमें AM GM क्यों लगाना है मुझे? This is why I'm not clear as to why you want to apply AM greater than equal to GM. Nidhi, you are also talking about AM greater than equal to GM. Juhi, unfortunately, MDI will not open it. MDI does not open its application again. If you have to apply, you have to apply within the deadline only. Okay. Chalo. Another question from Cat. This is again a specific case. कई जगह पे मैं बोलूंगा, take a specific case of values which are convenient to you. ABCD is a trapezium with AB equal to 10, CD equal to 6, angle A plus angle B is 90, find the height. क्या करना चाहिए? A equal to B equal to 45 degree. If you take A and B both as 45 degree, what will you do? You will create an isosceles trapezium. ये 6 है, ये 10 है. And if this angle is 45 and this angle is also 45, what does that mean? If this angle is 45, this will also be 45. That means the height will be equal to this side. If this is 6, these two will be 2. The answer will be 2. Whenever you have a situation like this, choose a set of values which is convenient for you. The most convenient value is 45 degree, because if A is equal to B, angle A is equal to angle B, you have an isosceles triangle, and this angle triangle also becomes an isosceles triangle. You have isosceles trapezium and hence an isosceles triangle. Calculations become easy. This side will be equal to this side, both will be equal to 2, so answer becomes 2. Now if you notice, ये छोटी छोटी चीज करके many a times we are reducing the effort very, very significantly. Yes, बिल्कुल हो जाएगा कृष्णा. Krishna, you will be able to clear. Yes, but you have to have the guts to apply what you have done. बेधड़ होके लगाओ, and look at this is also a cat question. How did it become isosceles? Varahi, what? Okay, you're talking about the triangle. Okay. Varahi, this is 90 degree. This angle is 45 degree. So will this angle not be 45 degree? Is that okay, Varahi? Right? Okay. Anjali, why C45? Anjali, I'm not clear about your question. Kasturi, unfortunately, when these questions come in the paper, many students find them difficult. But yes, I agree with you. Easy question. Okay. Chalo, let's go further. I am sure you know what to do when you have an infinite series. We have discussed this multiple times. This question is saying sum of 100 terms. Yeah, whether it is 20 terms or 50 terms or 100 terms or infinite terms, हमको तो वही करना है ना. What should we do? Add the first C4 terms. Look at the choices. What is this cancel? This is approximately 1 by 6. This is 0.5, 0.25 or 1 by 4, approximately 2. And what is 1 by 6? 0.166. Right? Check करते हैं. A1, A2, 1 by 40. 1 by 4 is 0.25, 1 by 40 will be 0.2025. Right? Yes, Anirudh. For add the infinite series or series which has got large number of terms, eliminate choices by looking at the first C4 terms. What will A3 be? 1 upon 88. Can I say 1 upon 88 is almost the same as 1 upon 90? 1 upon 90 is how much? 1 by 9 is 0.11. 1 upon 90 will be 0.011. What are we getting? 0.136. And look at the value 0.1, 0.011. A4 को check करना वो भी कर लेते हैं. What will be A4 equal to? 2 into 2, 5. 5 into 8. 8 into 11. Next should be 11 into 14. A4 you can write approximately 1 upon 150. 1 by 15 is 6.66% or 0.066. So 1 upon 150 will be equal to 0.0066. Or let me say 0.007. 0.143. My answer will not go to any of these values. Na? Questions of infinite series or series in which you have large number of terms and reducing series, चुपचाप पहली 3-4 terms add करके आंसर निकाल दो. Okay, if you are getting 9 to 11 correct with 1 or 2 wrong, I think you are on track. Don't worry about not doing geometry and logs. अगर बहुत टेंशन है, so all you can do is look at the old CAT papers and उसके geometry and log के questions कर लो, but उससे ज्यादा नहीं. Yeah, Ruchi, but is this a geometric progression? You are saying the sum of infinite series of a geometric progression is a upon 1 minus. Absolutely right. But this is not a geometric progression, na? No problems. चलो आगे चलते हैं. देखो लॉग जो क्या है ना, तुमको ये चीज आनी चाहिए. देवराज, आई डोंट नो कौन से क्वेश्चन की बात कर रहे हो. Okay, when I say new instruction, just in case they change the number of questions or something, you should be aware of it. That's all. Yes. कौन था जनक? You are absolutely right. Okay. Anjali, quant single digit, what to do? Anjali, look at only the Jugaad question of CAT which we have done in multiple sessions. आज के सवाल भी देख लो and इनको 2-3 बार कर लो. Secondly, the area of quant which you are comfortable with, do the CAT question of the old CAT questions from there. CAT 17 to 24 के उनके questions करके 2-3 बार चले जाओ. इससे ज्यादा कोशिश मत करना. Anjali, don't worry about geometry. We'll do a couple of questions geometry. उससे काम चल जाना चाहिए. But yes, as far as logs is concerned, इसका screenshot ले लो, ये रख लो. 1-2 सवाल हो ही जाएंगे. Okay, let's look at this question from CAT 2017. X is a real number such that log of 5 base 3 is equal to log of 2 plus x base 5. Which of the following is true? तो पहली चीज मुझे बताओ, what is log of 5 base 5? Equal to 1. Sorry, I am sorry. Log of 5 है ना, base 3 है ना, लेफ्ट हैंड साइड को देख रहा हूं मैं. Log of 3 base 3 is equal to 1 and log of 9 base 3 is equal to 2. What does that mean? This left hand side is between 1 and 2. Left hand side is between 1 and 2. That means right hand side should also be between 1 and 2. Right hand side क्या है? This should be less than 1, less than 2, sorry, and more than 1. And what is 2 equal to? Log of 25 base 5. And this is log of 5 base 5. What does that mean? 5 should be less than 2 plus x and less than 25. Or 3 should be less than x less than 23. बहुत सिंपल सी चीज है ये. This kind of approximation will give you the answer. और क्या कर सकते थे? The moment you say my answer has to be between 1 and 2, take a number. If I take x equal to, let's say, 2, then log of 2 plus x base 5, if x is equal to 2, what does it become? Log of 3 base 5. This is less than 1, hence a wrong choice. What about choice 2? If x is equal to 25, this becomes log of 2 plus x, 25 plus 2, 27. Base 5 will be greater than 2. Wrong choice. By the same logic, this will be wrong and this will become the correct answer. So pick up a value from the choices and substitute to check the answer. Yes, देवराज, क्या हो गया क्वेश्चन में, क्वेश्चन 2 में? मॉन्टेक, जो चीज समझ नहीं आती भूल जाओ. लॉग का एट बेस्ट एक सवाल आएगा, मैक्सिमम 2 सवाल आएंगे, बट मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम इट इज गोइंग टू बी 1 क्वेश्चन ओनली. डोंट वरी सो मच अबाउट लॉग्स. अगर नहीं समझ आता तो छोड़ दो. चलो कोई बात नहीं, आगे चलते हैं. If x is equal to a into b minus c, y equal to b into c minus a, z equal to c into a minus b, find the value of this expression given that x, y, z is not equal to 0. Yes, Anirudh, most centers have safekeeping available. Okay. चलो. Now, क्या करना चाहिए इसमें? Take values. What should you do? Take A, B, C. Take values of A, B, C. Let's say 1, 2, 3. Based on this, get the value of x, y, z. Substitute in the equation to get the answer. Okay? But इसमें 2 चीजें हैं. Don't worry about ABC, because all the choices have ABC in the denominator. So eliminate ABC. After all, 1 upon ABC is there in the question and the choices everywhere, so I can afford to ignore it. So effectively, I want to find whether this bracket value is 1, 27, 3, 9 or 1 by 3. Okay? पहली चीज. Okay? Now, yes, absolutely right. Symmetrical है Abhishek, but unfortunately, this is also symmetrical. Numbers are there. So we can't do anything with the symmetry part right now. All I can say is my answer should be a multiple of 3. 27 is a multiple of 3, 3 is a multiple of 3, 9 is a multiple of 3. ठीक है? चलो. ठीक है, तो सिंपल रूल है, ये करना है. बट इसमें ना एक चीज और है. एक चीज और है. यस देवराज, गुड ऑब्जर्वेशन. एक चीज और है इसमें. What is x equal to? Y equal to? And z equal to AC minus. So what is x plus y plus z? AB minus AB plus AC minus AC minus BC plus BC 0. So effectively क्या करना है मुझको इसमें? Now if you look at this question, what effectively this is telling me is, I'll just repeat this part. So effectively the first thing is 1 upon ABC is useless for me, because 1 upon ABC is there in the question and the choices, and I can ignore it completely. Second thing, this is telling me x plus y plus z is equal to 0. So if x plus y plus z is equal to 0, and ABC is useless for me, why should I even worry about ABC? क्या करूंगा? X को 2 ले लिया, Y को -1, Z को -1, equal to 0 आएगा ना? X, Y, Z, if there are 2, -1 and -1 will be 0. Check the answer. So if X is 2, X square becomes 4 and YZ becomes -1 into -1 is 1. Y square is 1, Z square is 1, and XZ is 2 into -1 is -2. So it becomes, okay. And similarly, this will be -2. Okay. Surely I'll see if I can create one. Okay. Okay. But the critical thing यहाँ पे ना इस तरह के क्वेश्चन में please learn to take values. In the worst case, take value of ABC. Based on that, get the value of X, Y, Z, and then solve. Agar if you can notice that A plus X plus Y plus Z is 0, then your task becomes even more simpler. Okay, Ishan, CAT 23, 99 percentile was at about 26 marks. And CAT 24, 99 percentile in quant was at about 36 marks. So a difference of roughly 3 questions. Okay. Not Ishan, sorry, that's Isha Sinha. So Isha, I hope this clarifies. Okay. Someone was asking about a theta question. This question ko dekhte hain. Okay. John borrowed 2,10,000 from a bank at an interest rate of 10% per annum, compounded annually. The loan was repaid in 2 equal installments. The first one after 1 year and second after another year. So loan of rupees 2,10,000, rate of interest 10%, compounded annually. Loan repaid in 2 equal installments. First after 1 year and second after 2 years. First installment was interest of 1 year plus part payment, while the second was rest of the principal amount plus. Then what is each installment equal to? Now, isko, if you look at doing this mathematically, what will this mean? 2,10,000 should be equal to first installment upon 1.1 plus second installment upon 1.1 square. Right? Or alternately, if you will do this is the present value method. If you look at the future value method, you will say 2,10,000. Actually, इतना भी क्यों लिख रहे हैं? 0 हटा देते हैं ना. Instead of 2,10,000, इसको 210 कर देते हैं. Okay, 210 into 1.1 square into equal to 1.1x plus x. ये कोई भी कर सकते हो, ठीक है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन योर कंफर्ट. नाउ बट माय पॉइंट हियर इज, पहली चीज याद रखो, इट्स अ थीटा क्वेश्चन, सो आंसर विल बी एन इंटीजर. Second, this is an installment question, so the answer will be a convenient number or what we call a cute number, easy to work with number. Okay. Second thing, if you look at this particular equation, x upon 1.1 plus x upon 1.21, that what this tells me is x should be a multiple of 1.21. क्योंकि x अगर 1.21 का मल्टीपल नहीं होगा, this will become a not integer. It's a theta, so the answer will have to be an integer. If x is not a multiple of 1.21, this number will not be, x will not be an integer. Okay, so मेरे को integer चाहिए है. So what will be my starting point? I'll start with x as 121. If x is equal to 121, or if you want 2,10,000, so 12,100. Then what does it become? 121 upon 1.21, and this becomes 121 upon 1.1. What is 121 upon 1.21? 100 and 110. 110 plus 100 is 210. So the each installment is 12,100. Please remember, questions in CAT are created with simple numbers so that your calculation do not become a problem. When this kind of a question, X or the installment had to be a multiple of 1.21. Okay. So 12,100. And when you apply such things, you end up saving a lot of time. Anyone with this question? In a regular polygon, the number of diagonals is k times the number of sides. If the interior angle of polygon is theta, क्यों लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पे? Theta होना चाहिए. Let me just rewrite this. Then what is the value of k? Okay. What should we do? Interior angle of the polygon is theta. What is the value of k? Absolutely right, Anirudh. ठीक ट्रैक पे हो. क्या करना चाहिए इसमें? Start looking at cases. Specific case, general case दिया हुआ है. Check for specific case. What is the smallest polygon? Triangle. If we have a triangle, in a triangle, how many diagonals are there? Number of diagonals is k times the number of sides. The number of sides is 3, and the number of diagonals, how many diagonals are there in a triangle? 0. So what is the value of k? 0. Number of diagonals is k into number of sides. Number of diagonals is k into number of sides. K into 3 should be equal to 0, so k has to be 0. Right? Now, in a triangle, what is theta? For an equilateral triangle, theta will be equal to 60 degrees. What does it mean? C theta is 180 minus 180, 0. So, for theta equal to 60, this is giving you 0. This is giving you 0. This is giving you 180 minus 60, 120. This is not giving me 0. This is not giving me 0. So, choice 3 and 4 are wrong based on equilateral triangle. Is this fine? Okay. Next, square. Theta is 90 degrees. It has got 4 sides and 2 diagonals. So, k should be 1 by 2. Now, what should you do? Put theta equal to 90 and see which of choice 1 and 2 give you half. So, choice 1 for theta equal to 90. C theta is 270 minus 180 upon 2 into pi is 180 minus 9, theta is 90. Okay. 180 minus 90, so what does it become? 90 upon 180 can be the right answer. Swarnima, the question is saying k times the number of sides should be equal to number of diagonals. Is that okay, Swarnima? As far as the square is concerned, it has got 4 sides, so k into 4 should be equal to 2 and 2 diagonals. That means k should be equal to 1 by 2. Okay. Chalo. What is choice 2? 2 into 3 theta. 3 theta again is 270 minus into 90 upon 90, which is equal to 2. So this is wrong. Correct answer, choice 1. Pi is 180 degrees now. We are not taking radians at all. Pi degrees is 180. Pi radians is 180 degree. Okay. Kunal. Okay. Okay. Another question from cat. इसको लोग सॉल्व करके बहुत टाइम बर्बाद करते हैं. Question says x plus 1 x plus b and x plus 6 are in GP for positive integers x and b, then what is the value of b? What most students do is they say x plus 1 into x plus 6 should be equal to x plus b whole square. And then they start solving this equation. इससे बड़ी बेवकूफी कुछ नहीं होगी. Okay. So don't look at this kind of a thing in terms of solving. इसको simplify करते हैं. यहां तक तो सही है कि x plus 1 into x plus 6 should be equal to x plus b whole square. Now, what does this mean? This implies this is nothing but a perfect square. So start putting values of x. Supposing x is equal to 1. So what does left-hand side become? Left-hand side becomes 1 plus 1, 2 into 6 plus 1, 7 equal to 14. ये गलत है. क्यों? Because we need this product to be a perfect square. What we want is that this product should be a square. Because this is equal to x plus b whole square. So this is a perfect square. So we want x plus 1 into x plus 6 to be a perfect square. If x is equal to 1, we are getting 14. So this cannot be the value of x. X equal to 2, what do we get? 2 plus 1, 3 into 2 plus 6, 8. 3 into 8 is 24, which is not a perfect square. So x equal to 2 is also wrong. X equal to 3 makes it 3 plus 1, 4 into 3 plus 6, 9 equal to 36, which is a perfect square. What does that mean? X plus b whole square should be equal to 36, or which implies x plus b should be equal to 6. But x is equal to 3. So b should also be equal to 3. So the correct answer for b is 3. Hit and trial, जनरल केस दिया हुआ है, स्पेसिफिक केस बना के चेक करो, आंसर जल्दी आ जाएगा. इसको करोगे? This is the same, general to specific. At the end, beyond the horizon, don't worry about how to score more than cat. जो कर रहे हो करते जाओ शांतिपूर्वक. Because the more you pressurize yourself to do better in cat, the more you are going to pull yourself down. And just revise these Jugaads, और कुछ नहीं करना. चलो यार ये बताओ, इस क्वेश्चन को देखते हैं. Question 18. Find the sum of this expression up to how many terms are there? This is first term, second term, 2007 terms. There, we need to find the sum of these 2007 terms. Okay. When you have a specific case given, please convert it to general case. क्या मतलब? Look at how many terms are there. These are 2007 terms. What is choice 1? Choice 1 is nothing but for 2007 terms, this is 2008, n plus 1. Is this okay? Can I say choice 1 in general terms can be written as n plus 1 upon minus 1 upon n plus 1? यार प्रिया, ये वीडियो तो YouTube पे है ना, तो होगा ही होगा. चॉइस 2 क्या होगी? n minus 1 upon n. Choice 3, n minus choice 4, यही होगी ना सारी choices. If n is equal to 2007, first choice is 2008 minus 1 upon 2008. So I can write it as n plus 1 minus 1 upon n plus 1. Now what should you do? Check for n equal to 1 if I have only one term. If none of the other terms exist, what is this value? What is the value of T1 or S1? If what is the value of S1? Only one term is there. It is under root of 1 plus 1 plus 1 by 4. 2 plus 1 by 4, so 2.25, or which is 9 by 4. So S1 equal to 3 by 2. Put n equal to 1 in the choices. Whichever choice does not give you 3 by 2 has to be wrong. So if n is equal to 1, choice 1 क्या होगी? Choice 1 becomes n equal to 1, then becomes 2 minus 1 by 2. Can be the right answer. Choice 2 becomes n minus 1 by n, 1 minus 1 equal to 0. We want 3 by 2. Choice 2 is giving us 1 minus 1 equal to 0. So wrong choice. Choice C, 1 minus 1 by 2, which is half. We want 3 by 2. This is giving us half. Choice 4, n plus 1 becomes 2 minus 1. We want 3 by 2. This gave us 1. Choice 5 gives us 2 minus 1 by 3. Again, which is wrong. Okay. Whenever you have a general case given, you convert into specific case. And जब specific case होता है तो उसको general case में check करते हैं इस तरह से. Look at the number of terms, उससे तुमको पता चलने लग जाएगा. Yes, Nidya, it always works. अगर आपने attend किया है raised to 99 sessions मेरे, or if you have looked at my other Jugaad session, I have shown multiple crack papers के सवाल इस तरह से किए हैं. अभी भी मैं तुमको और 2-3 सवाल दिखाऊंगा. Okay, some of you asking how was the number of terms equal to 2007 and 2008. First term में यही आया ना. Look at the middle वाला. First term has 1 square. Second term has 2 square. So the middle term in each under root is giving me the term number. Swarnima? Okay. Yeah. So the middle term in each square root is giving me the term number. First term, second term, third term. Okay. Or I can also say what is each term? 1 plus 1 upon n square plus 1 upon n plus 1 square. Okay. Okay. So general case जहां भी दिया है specific case में convert करके. This question had a specific case. We converted into general case. अभी एक दो सवाल और दिखाता हूं इसके तुमको. एक काम करते हैं, आगे चलते हैं, इसका दूसरा सवाल देखिए. ये वाला देखो. चलो. A1 is equal to 1. Okay, let's look at this case. Same as the previous question. शौर्य, अच्छा चलो शौर्य के सवाल पहले लेते हैं. Shaurya, let me take your question first. Shaurya says, how did 3 by 2 come? Shaurya, what is this? T1? Okay, this is S2007. What will be S1? S1 will be nothing but the first term. And what is first term? Is this fine, Shaurya? Right, Shaurya? I'm moving on. Okay. चलो इस क्वेश्चन को बाद में ले लेंगे, पहले इसको देख लो. यही एग्जैक्टली सेम चीज है. A1 is equal to 1. an plus 1 minus 3an plus 2 equal to 4n for all positive integers n. Then what is a100 equal to? Now please tell me. अब देखो a100 है तो इसमें 3 to power 99 है. So if instead of a100, if it was an, should this not have been 3 to power n minus 1? And what is this? 2 into 100? So minus 2 है. Right? Similarly, what is this? We have a100 के लिए, if it is 3 to power 99, then for an it is going to be 3 to power n minus 1 plus 2n. I can say this is, what is this? Nothing but a100 is equal to 3 to power 100 minus 1 plus 2 into 100. Right? So what I will do in this question, again the same thing. So I will convert the choices into general case choices. Okay. Now what should you check? We know that A1 is equal to 1. So put n equal to 1. We should get the value of 1. So if I put n equal to 1 in these choices, if I put n equal to 1, what do I get? This becomes 3 to power 0 minus 2, which is wrong because it is negative. 3 to power 0 is nothing but 1. So this is equal to minus 1. We need plus 1. 3 to power n minus 1 becomes 3 to power 1 minus 1 is 0 plus 2 into 1, 2. What does it become? 3. Okay. So 1 plus 2 equal to 3. We want 1, so choice 2 is wrong. Choice 3 to power 1 minus 2, which is equal to 1. Possible answer? Choice 4, 3 to power 1 plus 2 equal to 5. Right? Now look at this question. Both are from CAT. This question and the previous question, they are the same. Effectively, मेरे लिए दोनों सेम है. क्यों मुझे करना है? I have to just convert the choices into general case choices. And then check for n equal to 1. Okay. Okay, you're still struggling? ये वाला question? Sorry, Dima. Okay, let me explain this. Okay, let me do it. Now, what do we want? We want to find A100. These choices are for A100. What is 100? 100 is a term number. So when I have A100, look at choice C first. Can I say choice C is nothing but A100 ki jagah, if I write it as AN, will this not become C to power N? Instead of 100, I should write N. And 200 is nothing but 2N. Because it is 2 into 100. Right? Similarly, what is this choice? C to power N plus 2N. Okay. So that's all I have done. मैं खाली इसको compare किया है. अगर A 100 है and this is 99, what does this become? 3 to power n minus 1. 100 minus 99 is 100 minus 1. So A n will be n minus 1 plus 2n. And this will be 3 to power n minus 1 minus 2n. That is the only thing I have done. And then check for A1. Okay. ज्योमेट्री का एक सवाल देख लें. चलो इसको छोड़ देते हैं. इसके ज्यादा अच्छे सवाल आ जाएंगे, उनको देखते हैं. This is a pattern question. All these questions, I'm not going to solve this. What are you supposed to do? The question says find A79. Right in A1 is given. Write down the value of A2, A3, A4, and so on and so forth. You will find a pattern. And once you find the pattern, you'll get the answer. So your job in these questions is to identify the pattern. These are what I call pattern identification questions. Okay. So please look at ऐसे सवाल पक्का करने होते हैं because में कोई दिमाग नहीं लगाना पड़ता. All these questions, your job is just to write down the pattern. चलो कर लेते हैं. मैं सोचा था नहीं करेंगे, but let's do this. A1 is equal to 7. What will be A2? A2 will be equal to under root of 7 7 is 49 minus 16 under root of 33. What will be A3? An square becomes A3 square. An plus 1 will be A2. That is 33 minus 16, 17. So under root of 17. A4 will be under root 17 square is 17 minus 16, 1. A5 will be 1 minus 16 mod 15, so under root 15. A6 pattern मिल गया कि नहीं? After A3 all even terms are equal to 1. All odd terms are under root 15. That means A79 should be under root 15. चलो ये तो हो जाएगा सबसे कि नहीं. इनइक्वालिटी का मतलब चेक चॉइसेस. Yeah, Anirudh, I'll do that, Anirudh. Upload a brief of usual paper structure just to revise all. I'll do that. Okay. Check ही करना ना choices. Now look at the choices. 5 by 2 less than x less than 7 by 2 less than equal to. The only difference between these two choices are this is less than equal to, greater than equal to. This is sorry. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Similarly, out here, take a number from the choice. 5 by 2 is 2.5. Check for x equal to 3. If x is equal to 3, then f3 will become 3 to the 6 minus 1, 5, 1, and g3 becomes 7 minus 6 equal to 1. So, mod of fx plus gx is mod of 1 plus 1. Right hand side is mod of 1 plus mod of 1. It is satisfied. So, x equal to 3 satisfies. So, this can be an answer. This cannot be the answer because this says x less than 2.5. We know x equal to 3 satisfies. This is also not equal to the answer. Yes. So answer is either choice 1 or choice 4. Okay. Check for now. Now what will you do? Check for 2.5. Because 2.5 is available in choice 4 but not in choice 1. If 2.5 satisfies, the answer is 4. If 2.5 does not satisfy, answer is 1. Okay. So if x equal to 2.5 satisfies, and so what is f of 2.5? 2.5 into 2 is 5 minus 5 is 0. And g of 2.5, 7 minus 5 is 2. So mod of fx plus gx is equal to 0 plus 2. And mod of fx is 0 plus mod of gx is 2. They are equal. So x equal to 2.5 will satisfy. Correct answer will be choice 4. प्लीज याद रखो इनइक्वालिटी का मतलब ही होता है चॉइसेस चेक करना. हाँ, कुछ लोग ज्योमेट्री की बात कर रहे थे ना, ये देखते हैं सवाल को. चलो थोड़ा सा इससे पहले लेट मी सी देयर इज अनदर क्वेश्चन. ओके चलो पहले कर लेते हैं ये, इस पे आते हैं बिकॉज आई वांटेड टू पिक अप अ कपल ऑफ अदर क्वेश्चन फर्स्ट, बट कोई बात नहीं. इन ट्रायंगल एबीसी डी इज अ पॉइंट ऑन बीसी सच दैट बीडी इक्वल टू डीसी. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? डी इज द मिड पॉइंट ऑफ बीसी. ओके, व्हाट दिस इफेक्टिवली मींस, डी इज द midpoint of BC, right? BE is an altitude drawn on AC. If angle ADB is 45 degree, angle ACB is 30 degree, what is angle ABE? Now ज्योमेट्री में मैं बहुत सिंपल रूल लेके चलता हूं, मैं फिगर बनाऊंगा. I will always draw a figure and get the answer from the figure. Because if the figure is to scale, important चीज है figure you draw to scale. उसी से that means you will get the answer from the figure. But उसके लिए choices थोड़ी दूर होनी चाहिए जो है इस क्वेश्चन में. ठीक है, तो चलो देखते हैं. Okay? ABCD is a midpoint on. Now what do you say? Angle ADB, ACB is 30 degree. चलो. So we have angle ACB is 30 degrees. So angle C. Okay. Okay. And D is the midpoint of BC. So B यहां कहीं है, कहां पे मालूम नहीं है, but D has to be the midpoint of BC. And the important thing is ADB, angle ADB has to be 90 degrees. So let's do that. Now D is the midpoint, so if this is CD, this should be B. And अगर इसमें doubt है, what you can always do is use a rough sheet. So just look at this. I'm using this sheet. I'll measure it on the screen. Yeah. Okay. So using your rough sheet, please measure it. Now this becomes my triangle. Okay. BE is the altitude drawn on AC. Okay. So let's see. This is AC extended. BE is altitude drawn on AC. So AC पे किया ये आ गया. What is the measure of angle BABE? What is this angle going to be? क्या लगता है देख के? Look at these two sides look almost equal. This is 90 degree, so it should be 45 degree. Anjali, no, 45 degree. This is a 90 degree. Na altitude है ये. It's a perpendicular. And A, E, and B looks the same. That means the answer should be 45 degree. So important चीज ज्योमेट्री की है. If you can draw the figure to scale as per the condition. इसमें क्या condition दी हुई थी? ACB is 30 degree. So we drew a 30 degree angle. Then it said ADB is 45 degrees. Oh, मैंने गलत बनाया था. Oh, I'm extremely sorry. ADB 45 degree दिया. मैंने उसको गलत बना दिया. Sorry. Let me do it again. 45 degree होना चाहिए. 90 नहीं होना चाहिए. So if I say this is 90, this would be 45. Yeah. I read the question correctly. So this is the okay. Yeah, this looks like 45 और यहाँ से आएगा. उतना ही आ रहा है. 45 ही रहेगा आंसर. Yeah, Montek, I checked that. गलती हो गई थी मुझसे. Okay. So effectively जो है ठीक है. ओके चलो कोई बात नहीं. बट ये चीज ना आई वांट यू टू रिमेंबर, स्पेशली दिस. If you remember this part, you save a lot of time in calculations. Okay. So what this says, if you have a right angle triangle, 45, 45, 90 right triangle. 45, 45. That means the ratio of sides should be XX. If the ratio of sides is 1 is to 1 is to root 2. And if it's a 30, 60, 90 right triangle, if the side opposite 30 degrees is x, the side opposite 60 degrees will be x root 3 and the hypotenuse will be 2x. Please remember these two things. These are very, very important, will help you a lot. Anmol, मेरे को geometry आती नहीं है. I only draw the figure and get the answer from there. Okay? But extremely important is this. Secondly, remember, right angle triangles, you should remember the right angle, the Pythagorean triplets. All 3, 4, 5 and its multiples are all Pythagorean triplets. If you remember these, you will always be able to do well. Okay? And jahan pe doubt ho, use a regular figure. Remember that question of trapezium? We used an isosceles trapezium because that's a regular figure. Okay? So wherever required, use a regular figure rather than trying to do a random thing. Isosceles triangle nahi lunga, main equilateral lunga. If it says it's a right angle triangle, I'll ideally go for right angle isosceles triangle. Okay? Look at this question from CAT. Oh. This is, if I remember correctly, CAT 2002 or 3. I say kuch. Okay. Now, what are you supposed to do? Let's look at this thing. And this question had the figure given. In the figure given below, triangle ABC is an isosceles right angle triangle. It's an isosceles right angle triangle and the in circle with center O. touches the side BC at D. If AB is equal to 2, find the length of BD. पहली चीज क्या करनी है? Again, pick up your rough sheet, put it on the screen and check. You will find that AB and BC are equal. So what you need to do is put your rough sheet on the screen, measure AB. AB is coming out to be this much. Measure BC. BC is also coming out to be this much. What does that mean? The figure is to scale. Figure has been correctly made. We know AB is equal to 2, so BC should also be equal to 2. Next, if this is 2 centimeters, okay. If this much is 2 centimeters, how much should be 1 centimeter? Half of this. Keep it on the screen. Okay. So how much does 50% become? I'll just put the mark on the screen. Yeah. So this is 1 centimeter. And if this is 1 centimeter, how much will be half centimeter? Fold it again. So half centimeter comes out to be. Yeah. So what did I do? I measured on my screen that BC is equal to this much. BC is this much. Half of this is this much becomes 1 centimeter. Half of BC. And then this becomes 1/4 of BC, which is 1.5 centimeters. So BD, so this much is going to be 0.5. And this is going to be 1. So can I say BD should be slightly more than 0.5 centimeters? Please look at the choices now. What is 1 upon root 2? 1 upon root 2 is nothing but 1 upon 1.4, which is equal to 10 by 14 or approximately 0.7. So choice 1 is equal to 1 minus 0.7, approximately 0.3. We need a value BD has to be slightly more than 0.5 centimeters. Wrong choice. Choice 2, 2 minus root 2, which is root 2 is 1.414. So approximately 0.6. 2 minus 1.4 can be the answer. Choice 3 will be 2 minus 0.7, 1.3. Our answer has to be less than 1. This is BD. BD has to be less than 1. So wrong choice. And choice 4 is root 2 minus 1, which is 0.4. Wrong choice, which is less than. Correct answer, choice 2. ठीक है, ये ज्योमेट्री के सवाल ऐसे मैं बचपन से करता आ रहा हूं. कैट में हमेशा मैंने देखा है you will be able to solve question this way. And while I have not mentioned this, if I remember correctly, is a CAT 2002, 3, 4 kind of a question. Okay? Look at another question from CAT. CAT 2008. Again, the figure was given in the paper. Okay? The figure was given in the paper. And that's all I will do again out here. An equilateral triangle in a BPC is drawn inside the square ABCD. ABCD is a square and BPC is an equilateral triangle. Okay. What is the value of the angle APD in degrees? We need to find the value of this particular angle. In the question, the figure was given. I am again repeating in CAT 2008. Okay. Now, can you look at this figure and tell me what should be the answer? Now, this is going to be, this much is 180 degree ना. पहली चीज 90 से तो ज्यादा है. Now look at this figure. This is 180 degree. How much will be this? Has to be 150. Visual observation देख के पता चल जाता है मुझको. I don't have to worry about solving this question because visually when the figure is given to be correct, the answer will be correct. After all, again you could have measured. You could have said, let me use my rough sheet. What is BC? BC is coming out to be. Let me just get the right value for BC first of all. मैं रफ शीट इन सब काम के लिए यूज करता हूं. So my suggestion is before you go to the examination hall, you would have your admit card, you will have your PAN card or Aadhaar or some card. उसको measure करके जाना ताकि when you have to measure it something on the screen, you are able to do it. Okay. So as per the question again, BC. As per the figure, this is BC. Okay. And this is equal to BP as well as this. So I measured from the figure, this is BC, and this was the same value for BP as well as PC. What does that mean? Figure is correct. If the figure is correct, I look at the figure and get the answer from there. Visually, you can clearly make out this is definitely not 120 degree or 135. Okay. Okay. Yeah, ये भी एक और अच्छा सवाल है. I'm sure you know what to do with this question now. Pratham, if you are comfortable, you can. Otherwise, don't. Yeah. Okay. Montague origami तो काफी चलती है, but look at this question again. I am sure by now you know what I will do with these choices. I'll convert them into numbers. Root 2 is 1.4, so 2 root 2 is 2.8. This is 0.2. Choice 2 is going to be 1.2. 4 minus 2.8. Choice 3 is 5.6. 7 minus 5.6 is 1.4. And 6 minus 5.6, 0.4. Okay. Now what should you do? Take your rough sheet, measure this much. Okay. And let me do the same. गंदी आदत है मेजर करने की, तो मेजर तो करेंगे ही. Let me just pick up my rough sheet. Yeah. So Montague origami continues. I'll just, yeah. Yeah. So Montague and others, this is, if I say, this is the length. Half of this here, half of this here. Okay. So my answer should be, again, if you look at this figure again, I'll just put, this is 50%. Okay. This is a radius 2 centimeters. So this is 2 centimeters for me. Half of this, I'll fold this to half and then measure it on the screen. Okay. That means this much is about 1 centimeters. I'm doing an approximation here right now. So this is about 1 centimeters. This is 0.5 centimeters. That means answer should be slightly less than 0.5 centimeters. Here they go, how stupid the choices are. Well, quite a few have already given the answer. That's great. Yeah. Now, whenever I have choices which have such stupid looking numbers, I always convert them into numbers, decimals. So 3 minus 2 root 2 मुझे नहीं समझ आता, but I understand 0.2. I don't understand 7 minus 4 root 2, but I understand 1.4. So my job is always to convert them into numbers and do an approximate value. Okay. But what is the radius of the smaller circle? देख रहे हैं ना? Yeah, so this is radius. So this is 0.5. So we are saying radius should be less than 0.5. Okay. So this is 2 centimeters. This is 1 centimeter. Half of that is this. So this much is 0.5. Radius will be slightly less than 0.5 is all we said. Okay. Okay, what if the figure is not to scale? Montague, तुमने बोला और सवाल आ गया तुम्हारे मतलब का. Okay. This is the figure. Let's look at the figure. Montague. In the following figure, diameter of circle is 3 centimeters. Okay. So this is the circle, diameter is 3 centimeters. This is 3 centimeters, this is 3 centimeters. O is the center of the circle. AB and MN are two per diameter such that MN is perpendicular to AB. So the two diameters are perpendicular to each other. In addition, CG is perpendicular to AB. CG is also perpendicular to AB. Okay, so this is also 90 degrees. Such that AE to EB is 1:2. Okay. So AE to EB should be 1:2. So question is saying this to this should be 1:2. Montage, this is not to scale. No, in CAT also you still have questions which are figures and figure given. I measured on the screen. I'll show you geometry questions from the current last 2-3 year papers also. Don't worry. But if you are not able to understand, they are skipping is the right approach. Okay, so the question says AE to EB should be 1:2. Is this 1:2? No. What should be the case? The figure is not to scale. E should be somewhere here. Okay. This will make it 1:2. So now we can say, as per the figure, this is 1:2. Right? Okay. DF is perpendicular to MN. So DF is perpendicular to MN such that NL to LM is 1:2. And L to LM looks like 1:2. Yes. So when you have this figure in front of you, mentally you should be clear, yeah, ये इधर कहीं आएगा. Okay. So this is actually, this should be E and this should be H. I am drawing it in the exam. You will not be able to draw it on the screen. Here I am drawing it so that you can understand the question. Okay. What is the length of DH? We need to find this length. Now, before you do anything, let's look at the choices. What is choice 1? 2√2 is 2.8 minus 1. 2.8 minus 1 is 1.8. Choice 2 is 1.8 by 2, 0.9. Choice 3, 3√2 is 1.4 into 3, 4.2 minus 1, 3.2 divided by 2, 1.6. And choice 4, 2√2 becomes 1.8 minus 1. Sorry, 2.8 minus 1, 1.8 by 0.6. Now, when you look at this figure, the diameter of the circle is 3 centimeters. How much we need to find the length of DH? Can you tell me how much will be AE? What is the length of AE equal to? A is equal to 1 centimeter. What should be DH? Slightly less than 1 centimeter. Look at the figure. हमने figure को ठीक कर दिया, आंसर मिल गया. Answer should be slightly less than 1 centimeter. Wrong, wrong, very low. Correct answer. Okay. So your job in the examination is to mentally be clear. अच्छा यहाँ पे कहीं आएगा, and hence AE and DH will be very close to each other. DH obviously will be slightly less than 1. Okay. Geometry इस तरह से करने की आदत डालोगे, you may not be able to solve 3 out of 3 questions, but 1 out of 3, and if you are fortunate, 2 out of 3 will happen. Okay. Another question. Remember geometry में क्या बोला था? Go for regular figures. Don't go for figures which are scaling triangle नहीं चाहिए मुझे. I will only go for regular figures. Look at this question. In a trapezium ABCD, AB is perpendicular to DC. Lengths of AB and DC are in the ratio of 3:1. AB is 3, DC is 1. Okay. So what will I do? I'll draw isosceles trapezium as usual. If this is 1, the length of AB has to be 3. So draw an isosceles trapezium, your life becomes that much more easier. Okay. This is the way I will draw the figure. So it says A, B, C, and D. Okay. AB and DC are in the ratio of 3:1. AB is 3, DC is equal to 1. If MN are midpoints of diagonals BD and AC, MN are diagonals of midpoints of diagonals BD and AC. So AC का diagonal बनाओ. Midpoint क्या होगा? यही हो गया ना. Okay. Then MN will be MN are midpoints of BD and AC. Then the lengths of MN and AB are in the ratio of MN and AB are in the ratio of MN will be equal to 1, AB will be 3. Answer is here. Draw the figure to scale. If you draw the figure to scale and draw a regular figure, in this case, isosceles trapezium, my task becomes easier. Visually दिख जाता है, मेरे को कुछ calculate करने की जरूरत नहीं होती फिर. And this is CAT 2016 paper, a recent one comparatively. Chalo, let's look at approximating this one. Okay. Another geometry question. Okay. In a triangle ABC, medians AD and B are intersect at right angles. If AB is equal to 6 and BC equal to 8, find the length of AC. Okay. Now, it's a triangle ABC with two sides. AB is equal to 6 and BC equal to 8. We need to find the length of third side AC. Pehli cheez, please tell me, if the two sides are 8 and 6, then AC will have to be less than 14. AC will have to be less than 8 plus 6. Isn't it right? And AC should be greater than 8 minus 6. So I can say AC has to be greater than 2 and less than 14. Choice 3 is wrong because it is equal to 2. The third side should be greater than 2. How much is under root 29? Okay, Shobha, you are saying if we assume that the isosceles when it does not say that, okay, nahi. Now look at the question. Question is not saying anything about what kind of trapezium is it. The question is giving me a general case. For all kinds of trapezium. When it is giving me for a general case, I will use a specific case. Okay. So if it is true for all kind of trapezium, so it should be correct for my trapezium also. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now under root 29 calculator है, but उससे की जरूरत नहीं. 5 square is equal to 25. 5.5 square will be equal to 30.25. 55 square will be 25 on the right hand side. 5 into 6, 30 on the left hand side. So 29 should be approximately under root 29 should be maybe about 5.3, 5.4. So 5.3 into 3 is 15.9. Wrong choice. AC should be less than 14. 5.3 into 2, 10.6. Okay. So we need to see if the answer is 3 or this. Okay. Now let's draw the figure. Okay. If it is 3, एक बार 3 वाला कोशिश करके देखते हैं. Okay. Yeah. This is BC is equal to 8. 2, 4, 6, 8 approximately. And AB has to be 6. If AB has to be 6, let's say, and it is 3. If I say this is going to be the answer, what does that mean? They should be very close to each other. Something like this. Okay. So, A will be somewhere here. This is 3, roughly. इसको आधा करना है ना उसका, तो थोड़ा और कर लेते हैं. So if this is 6, this is 8, this is 3, this figure is to scale. Okay. Now what does it say? Medians of AD and BE intersected. AE will be this and BD will be. These are not intersecting at right angle. So choice 2 is wrong. Correct answer should be 4. Why I drew at that angle? Okay, look at this. If it is 3, then AC should be very small, na? If AC has to be small, then A and C should be close to each other. Which is why I do it like this. दूसरी चीज फिगर के हिसाब से कर रहा हूं ना. Look at this way. If I want 3, if I want AC to be equal to 3 and BC equal to 6, so AC is half of AB, na? AC should be half of AB. So I do figure approximately. Supposing I draw it like this. 1, 2, 6. Then this will have to be, if this is 6, this will not be equal to 3. This is 5, 4 or 5. So by hit and trial, you will draw the figure. This will come out to be something like this. 3, 6. Now you can measure using a rough sheet also. This is going to be almost double of the other side. Okay. Okay. Yes, Akhil, you're absolutely right. Okay. There's a question where you can again do a hit and trial. Product of 3 consecutive positive integers is 15,600. Sum of the squares of these integers. Okay. Now, for me, these are 3 consecutive integers. X minus 1, X and X plus 1. The product of these 3 is equal to 15,600. Now, ये बिल्कुल मत करना. What we will do out here is you are going to make your life miserable. But ये समझाने के लिए कर रहा हूं मैं. ठीक है? पेपर में ये चीज नहीं करना. So what does it mean? If we multiply this x minus 1 into x plus 1 is x square minus 1. Okay. X minus 1 into x, which is nothing but. Okay. So your job is not to solve this equation. Your job is to do a hit and trial. Okay. Now, let me look at 2 into 3 into 4, just to help you understand. What is 3 cube? 3 cube is 27. 3 cube is 27. 2 into 3 into 4 is 3 2s are 6 into 4, 24. Similarly, look at 3 into 4 into 5 versus 4 cube. 4 cube is 64. 3 into 4, 15 4 is 60. So what you find is that this is going to be slightly less than the cube of the middle number. Okay. So if you remember your cubes, you can get the answer fast. Okay. So what is 20 cube? So one way is to look at 20 cube, 8,000. 30 cube, 3 cube is 27, so 27,000. So this number 15,600 is somewhere in between. So what will be 25 cube? If you know your calculation, if you know your angles, if you know your cubes, that's great. Otherwise, what you do is use your calculator, you'll get 15625. What does that mean? This should be most probably 24 into 25 into 26. Verify. So what do you need to find? 24 square plus 25 square plus 26 square. Can I say this should be approximately same as 3 into 25 square? 25 square is 625 into 3, 1875. My answer should be 1877. Why? Because 25 square into 3 is 1875. This will be slightly more. You can also say unit digit of 24 square will be 6. Unit digit of 5 square will be 5. 25 square will be 5. unit digit of 26 square will be 6 again. So the unit digit of the answer should be 7. Okay. And it should be around 1875. Okay. Yes, there are multiple ways of doing this. You can again factorize this. Okay. But my point is, keep things simple. Use your calculator if required. अगर कुछ स्ट्राइक नहीं करना, कैलकुलेटर खोलो, अप्रोक्सीमेट करो, आंसर निकालो. This is again a pattern question. Function fx satisfies this particular f1 plus f2 plus up to fn is n square plus fn. What does that mean? f1 should be equal to 1 into fn. f2, sorry, f1 plus f2 should be equal to 2 square f2. f1 plus f2 plus f3 equal to c square into f3. Pattern hai ye. Start writing down, you'll start getting the answer. What is the value of f1? Is given to us as 3600. Okay. f1 plus f2 is nothing but 4 into f2. So if you take this to the other side, what do we get? This is equal to f1 plus f2 is equal to 4f2. So f1 is equal to 3f2. So f2 will be equal to 1200. Similarly, okay, instead of f2, I can write 3f1. Yeah. Okay. Now f1 plus f2 is nothing but 4f2. Okay. So 4f2 is equal to, take this f3 on the other side, 8f3. Okay. So f3 will be equal to 600. Keep doing that. You will hit the answer. So this is a pattern question and your task is to systematically keep working through it. Don't think that you have a shortcut. ऐसे कई सवाल में shortcut नहीं होता है. Pattern identify करो, pattern लिखते जाओ, you'll get the answer. Yeah. Okay. Very, very interesting question. Please read the question. Please read the question, फिर हम बात करते हैं इसके. And starts from point A. Crawls along the surface of the cylinder to reach point B vertically above it. कैसे क्या? गोल घूम घूम के. Okay. Okay. So it has reached here. The path followed by the ant is that of 4 identical spirals as shown in the figure. Find the radius of the circle that circumscribes the square such that the perimeter of the square is equal to distance covered by the ant. Diameter of the circle is 3 upon pi units and the height is 16 units. पहले तो इस सवाल की लैंग्वेज ही कंफ्यूज कर देती है. But let's try to understand. What do we need to find? Radius of the circle. Okay. Radius of some circle. Okay. That circumscribes the square. So around a particular square, there's a circle. Okay. Find the radius of the circle that circumscribes the square. Okay. Radius of the circle such that the perimeter of the square is equal to distance covered by the ant. So perimeter of the square, if I say perimeter of the square is equal to P, then distance covered by the ant will be equal to P upon 4. Perimeter of the square, perimeter is equal to distance covered by those square, which is equal to distance Distance covered by the ant. So, if we say side of the square is x, okay, हमको क्या निकालना है? We need to find the radius of the circle. Okay, what will be the radius of the circle? It will be half the diagonal of the square. So if I say perimeter of the each side of the square is x, so perimeter of the square is 4x. Okay. Diagonal of the square will be x root 2. And what do we need to find? The radius. So x root 2 upon 2 equal to x upon root 2 हमें find करना है. यही करना है ना हमको. Now, obviously, it will take it requires some funda to be able to get this. And if you don't have the knowledge, what should you do? Ask yourself, what is the minimum distance ant will cover? Can I say the distance that the ant will cover will be greater than 16? Because height 16 है ना. अगर ant had he gone straight from A to B, it would have covered the height of the cylinder, which is 16. It has gone in the circular fashion, so the distance has to be greater than 16. So if the distance is greater than 16, that implies perimeter will be greater than 16, which implies side of the square will be greater than 4. Side of the square is greater than 4, that the diagonal, which is equal to diameter, should be greater than 4 root 2, and which implies radius should be greater than 2 root 2. Okay. How much is 2 root 2 equal to? So all we are saying is radius should be greater than 2.8. 2 root 2 is 2.8. 5 upon 2 is equal to 2.5. Long choice. 5 upon root 2 is 5 upon 1.4, which will be greater than 2.8. It will be greater than 3 actually. Can be the right answer. 5 upon 2 is 2.5. This will also be less than 2.5. Root 5 by 2 will be less than 2.5. Root 5 right answer choice 2. So जहां पे मुझे नहीं आता कुछ कैलकुलेट करना, or I think it is going to be time consuming, I will do an approximation. Instead of doing the actual value, I said my answer, the distance is greater than 16, so the radius should be greater than 2.8. Eliminate choices based on that, mark the answer and move on to the next question. ये तो मालूम हो जाएगा ना. Hypotenuse of a right triangle is 26. 5, 12, 13 is a right angle triangle. That means 10, 24, 26 should also be a right angle triangle. So if this 26, the other two sides will be 24 and 10. Perimeter of the triangle will be 60. Remember your Pythagorean and triplets. बीच बीच में सवाल उठ के आ जाते हैं उसके. छोटा सा फंडा है, कॉन्सेप्ट है. In fact, I think your last CDC Pro also had a question based on similar funda. Okay. A flight leaves Bangalore at 4:15 p.m. reaches Dubai at 6:45 p.m. Another flight leaves Dubai at 3:30 p.m. reaches Bangalore at 9 p.m. If their speeds are 800 kilometers per hour, they follow the same path. What is the distance between Bangalore and Dubai? Okay. Now, supposing the flight leaves Bangalore at 4:15 p.m. It will reach Dubai at 6:45 p.m. That's given. Now, supposing the flight leaves Dubai at 6:45 p.m. What time will it reach Bangalore? If it leaves at 3:30, it reaches at 9. So 5.5 hours later. Okay, 5.5 hours later. How much is that? So 6, 5, 11. Yeah, 5.5 now. So 12:15 p.m. Okay. So can I say it started from Bangalore at 4:15 p.m., came back to Bangalore at 8 a.m. So can I say Bangalore to Dubai to Bangalore journey took a total of how much? 8 hours. Okay. And that means each of these should be 4 hours. So whenever we have these questions of time zone change now, look at the round trip. When you look at the time zone change question with round trip, you get the total time very easily. Now, what is the time difference between Bangalore and Dubai? Look at this way. 6:45 to 12:15 means 5.5 hours. But the actual travel time is 4 hours. That means time difference is equal to 1.5 hours. You could have done it from here also. Travel time 4:15 to 6:45, 2.5 hours. But the actual travel time is 4 hours. So that means a time difference of 1.5 hours. Okay. So to find the travel time, take a round trip. It starts at a particular time, reaches the other city, and immediately leaves for the return trip. This gives me the time of travel. This total is 8 hours. 4:15 to 12:15 is 8 hours is the travel time. So each direction it should be 4 hours. कुणाल क्लियर हो गया कि नहीं? Okay. Now, this could have been, this is just to help you understand. Now, what we can again do is look at this. Sorry. Now look at this. As per the question, this was to help you understand. Now, as per the question, Bangalore to Dubai. Bangalore to Dubai is how much? 2.5 hours. And Dubai to Bangalore is 5.5 hours. What is the total? 2.5 and 5.5, 8 hours. Total is 8 hours. That means each direction is going to be 4 hours. Okay. The same thing. But now that you understand that concept, इसको सीधा लगा सकते हो. After all, this is nothing but 2.5 hours plus time difference, and this is 5.5 hours minus time difference. So if I add the two of them, what do I get? 8 hours. So straight away, the nominal time given out here, which is 2.5 hours, nominal time given in the other thing, which is 5.5 hours, 5.5 plus 2.5 is 8 hours. 8 hours divided by 2, 4 hours is the travel time in each direction. Okay. Okay. ये भी वैसे ही सवाल है, इसको छोड़ देते हैं लेकिन. This is from CAT 2007, a group of 2 questions. Okay. Absolutely right, Anmol, sorry. Yes, इसको करना है क्या? चलो, let's see. A is located 3,000 kilometers east of B. I'm just writing it on the other side. A is located 3,000 kilometers to the east of B. Okay. Okay. Again, look at this. 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is 4 plus 3, 7 hours. And 4 p.m. to 8 a.m., 4 hours. Okay. Total travel time is 11 hours. Okay. Again, look at this. 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. If it starts from 3 p.m. and goes back, 8. Okay. A to B, B to A. Okay. Okay. So it starts from, let's say it starts from B. goes to A and goes back to B. B to A, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., which is 7 hours. And from A at 3 p.m., instead of 4 p.m., it becomes 3 p.m. It will reach at 7 p.m. It started at 8 a.m. from B, came back to B at 7 p.m. It is a total of 11 hours. Okay? The same thing. Okay? Now it says, assume the plane cruises at the same speed in both directions. However, the effective speed is influenced by steady wind blowing east to west at 50 kilometers per hour. So there's a wind speed of east to west of 50 kilometers per hour. And we know the total travel time is 11 hours. B to A to B will take us total of 11 hours. Okay. Now, question is saying, what is the time difference between A and B? And question 36, what is the plane speed in kilometers per hour? Okay. Now, look at the second question first. Okay. Now, the distance is 3000 kilometers and speed is equal to distance upon time, or let me say time is equal to distance upon speed. So 3000, when if I assume the speed of the plane is x kilometers per hour, when it is going from B to A, it is 3000. Effective speed will be x minus 50, because the plane speed is x. It is going against the wind at 50. 3000 upon x minus 50, and when it is going from A to B, it will become x plus 50. Okay. Now what should you do? Don't solve this equation. Don't solve this equation. Check the choices. What should you be looking for? X minus 50 and x plus 50. Both should be factors of 3000. Why? On the right hand side, you have an integer. So ideally, both these should also be integers. Okay. So if I have 500, x plus 50 will become 550, which is not a factor of 3000. X minus 50 will become 450, which is also not. So this is not likely to be the answer. Look at 550. That means x plus 50 will be 600. X minus 50 will be 500. Both of them are factors of 3000. So if I look at this, x plus 550, 3000 upon x minus 500, and this becomes 3000 upon 600. What does it become? 6 plus 5 equal to 11 satisfies. Correct answer. Okay. So look at the choices. Question 36 was effectively telling me, yeah, choices check karo, time mat waste karo. And speed nikal liya, so obviously this will also happen. चलो ये वाला क्या करोगे? Just 3-4 questions left, then we can close the session. यार ये YouTube पे हो रहा है, this will be available to you throughout. Don't worry. What will you do? If n is equal to 1, S1 will be equal to log of 9 base 3 is 1 by 2. Instead of saying Sn, I have put n equal to 1. That means I will look at only this. Now put n equal to 1. If I put n equal to 1, what do I get? 1 into 2 by 2, which is 1 long. 2 upon 2 long. 1 into 2 into 3. 1 into 2 is 2, obviously. 2 plus 1, 2 into 3, 6 by 12. 1 by 2 can be the right answer. This is 1 into 2 by 4. Okay. So similarly, the next one will become 4 upon 2. Wrong. So the answer is either 3 or 4. What should you do now? What should you do now? Check for n equal to 2. If I look at first two terms, what does it become? 1 by 2 plus 1, which is equal to 3 by 2. So if n is equal to 2, my answer should be equal to 3 by 2. Now check for these two. If n is equal to 2, choice 4, what does it become? 2 into 3 by 4, which is 3 by 2. And what is choice 3? Choice 3 is 2 into 3 into 2 to the 4 plus 1, 5 by 12. Okay. Which is 15 by 6, which is 15 by 6 is 5 by 2. Wrong choice. Correct answer, choice 4. Okay. So first, always check for n equal to 1, because many questions you'll get with n equal to 1 itself. Because we were left with two choices, choice 3 and 4, we check for n equal to 2 also. ये भी similarly question है. General case दिया है, take a specific case. A rectangular sheet can be divided into two parts by breaking it along its length or its width. What is the least number of steps required to divide a rectangular sheet of size m into n into equal sheets of 1 by 1? If the sheet is 1 by 1 itself, how many steps are required? 0 steps. Okay. So 1 minus, so this is on 1 minus 1 plus 1. This is equal to 1. 1 into 1 minus 1 equal to 0, possible. 1 into 1 plus 1, 2, wrong. 1 into 1, 1. Correct answer ये होगा. Okay. So keep things simple. Supposing there were two choices which were giving me 0, I would have said, what if it is a 2 by 2? Step 1, step 2, step 3. So if it is a 2 by 2, I will need 3 steps. What will I do? I'll first do step 1, step 2, step 3. If it's a 2 by 2, to convert into 4 1 by 1, I need 3 steps. Maybe, see, जो भी cover कर रहा हूं मैं, from this you can expect about 4, 5, 6 questions in the paper. Sufficient to clear the cutoff at least. This is again a pattern. It says integers 1 to 40. Integers from 1, 2, 3 up to 40 are written on blackboard and following operation repeated 39 times. In each repetition, any two numbers, say A and B, currently on blackboard are erased and new number A plus B minus 1 is written. What will be the number written on the board at the end? Chota case lo. Supposing I have only two numbers. What will I get? I'll remove this 1 plus 2 को हटा के I'll write 2. So when I had 1 and 2, I was left with 2. Okay, 1 plus 2 था, 3 से 2 हो गया. The point is 1, 2, 3. These two will remain 2. 3 plus 2, 5. 4. So when I have 1 plus 2 plus 3, I am left with 4. Now what is this? 2 is nothing but 3 minus 1. This is 6 minus 2. Sum of the terms minus 2. So if I have 1, 2, 3 and 4, if I have 4 add करता हूं, 4 plus 4, 8 minus 1, 7. What am I doing? It is nothing but sum of the n terms minus n. So if these are 40 terms, it is going to be sum of first 40 number, natural number will be 40 into 41 by 2 minus 40. Okay. Okay, I guess we can skip these questions. This question. Okay. But चलो करना हो तो क्या करोगे? Any idea? सिद्धांत सेक्शनल कट ऑफ क्लियर हो जाएगा और ये जुगाड़ लगा लोगे तो 95, 97, 99 मुश्किल नहीं है. n greater than 5. लास्ट क्वेश्चन है इसलिए कर लेते हैं, अदरवाइज आई वुड हैव लेफ्ट इट. n tournaments, n teams, each team consists of k players with k greater than 3. The following pairs of teams have one pair in common: T1, T2, T2, T3, T3, T4, and so on up to Tn, T1. No other pairs have common. How many players are participating in the tournament considering all n teams together? So what will I do? Assume there are 6 teams. Okay? And each team has 4 players. Okay? 6 teams with 4 players each. So T1 में who are the players? Player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4. Now we know T1, T2 have one pair in common. Let's say player number 4 is common. T2, T3 have player number 7 in common. T3, T4 have player number 10 in common. T4, T5 have player number 13 common. T5, T6 have player number 16 common. And Tn and T1 also have one player in common, so player number 1. So how many players are 18? So for n equal to 6 and k equal to 4, the total number of players is going to be 18. Check the choices. N is 6, k is 4, so 6 into 2 equal to 12. Wrong choice. This is 6 into k, sorry, k is 4. N is 6, 6 minus 2. Wrong choice. N minus 1 into k minus 1 is 5 into 3, 15. Wrong choice. N into k minus 1, n is 6 into k minus 1 is 3, 18. Just for the record, k into n minus 1 will be 4 into 5. Again, where general case is given, convert it into specific case. Okay. So please remember, algebra जो तुम लोग कुछ कह रहे थे ना, some of you saying algebra is difficult. No, it is not difficult. All algebra means put value of n and solve. Inequality, substitute. Infinite series, add the first 3, 4, 5 terms to get the answer. So if you just follow what we have done today, and if you remember what we have done in the Jugaad solution or in the raised to 99 sessions, it would be very, very easy for you to not only clear the cutoff, but to get at least a 95, if not a 99 percentile. Okay. So, ठीक है. Chalo, some of you were asking for my contact details. My phone number is 98111. And email ID is gp@careerlauncher.com. Okay. So in case you have any issue with respect to your preparation, okay. Yes, yesterday I think Gautam and Ravi did a session on DILR. Day before yesterday, Jijo did a session on verbal. Okay. Okay. So उनको देख सकते हो तुम. Just check Vinny, just check raised to 99 on RT99 or go to the Career Launcher channel and check for the raised to 99 head start on the YouTube. You will get it there. The other 2 sessions are only for Career Launcher students, so they are inside on the Career Launcher platform. So if any of your friends is enrolled in Career Launcher, you might be able to see it. Okay. Okay. Revision schedule, yes, this is what I was saying. Jijo took it on verbal day before yesterday. Yesterday it was Ravi Teja and Gautam Baba. Today it was my session, and tomorrow we'll have another session. We'll talk about a few things. Okay? Don't worry. And on the CAT day was live analysis, English, Hindi, दोनों में है, तीनों slots का है. Okay. And the algebra question is just check the playlist on my playlist on YouTube. There are quite a few questions of algebra which I have solved this way. Actual CAT papers. Okay. So on the CAT day also, don't forget to tune in. We are throughout the day we will be available on YouTube, and immediately after you do the paper, we'll all of us are taking the CAT paper, and for each of the 3 slots, some of us will be there who have actually taken the paper, and will give you our analysis as to क्या लगता है हमारे हिसाब से पेपर में. Okay. Okay. And so we'll meet you again tomorrow. And a couple of others, photographs are missing, but they'll also be there. Okay. Okay. So, chalo, that's it from my side. Good night. And as I said, any issues, feel free to connect with me on these numbers. Okay. Good night. All the best. Okay.